Uncle's Variety Hour. Uncle's Variety Hour. Uncle's Variety Hour. Uncle's Variety Hour. Uncles. Uncles.
They're so cool.
I'm an uncle.
I'm an uncle too.
Uncles.
Yeah.
Uncle's Variety Hour. Uncle's Variety Hour. Uncle's Variety Hour. Uncle's Variety Hour.
Hi.
Fasten your seatbelts and open your eyes, boys and girls. It's time for another episode of Uncle's Variety Hour. As always, I'm your Uncle B.
And I'm Uncle Chunky.
For anyone who's never listened or watched the program before, this is Uncle's Variety Hour. We're two uncles. We like to find nephews. We like to show off their talents. And we like to have a variety of exciting things happen on the program.
We do. Not just one thing or a couple.
Two.
Not even three.
Nope. Many, many more than that. An indeterminate amount of things.
A large variety of things, all in an hour.
That's right. Not a minute.
Not a second.
Not 5 minutes.
Not a fortnight.
A determinate amount of time. An hour.
Yes, a single hour. And we are broadcasting to you live from the Space Channel.
That's right. Let's say the theme song together, boys and girls.
Come on and flannel. Welcome to Space Channel. They broadcast from space.
That's right. Way up out in space, broadcasting entertainment to all you lovely listeners out in the space stations, wherever you might be, out in the stars, maybe orbiting around the remains of Earth. Anywhere in space, Space Channel will reach you.
They will, and we right now are on a bus.
That's right, a flying bus, flown around by our very good friend who we met several weeks back, Uncle Bungley, Magic Uncle. This Magic Uncle makes this bus fly around wherever we want to go, and right now where we want to go is Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C., the capital of what used to be the United States before the world ended. That is where we are going to hold the Uncles Convention.
That's right. As uncles, it's our duty to keep all the nieces and nephews happy, fed, sated, and loved. And right now, all the nieces and nephews down on Earth don't have any uncles to keep them warm and cuddly. So we're going to find them all, find all the uncles that we can, and put them together in one big uncles convention.
And it's not just us on this adventure.
Sure isn't.
We have Uncle Bungley on the bus, as well as a host of several studio audience members.
Yeah, say hello, studio audience.
Oh, hello. 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 Ooh, hey, I'm a tree. I'm still a tree. Nothing has changed since I first proclaimed I was a tree. And I'm Clung, and I'm a tree.
What a wide host of wacky characters we have.
It's very true. There aren't just a variety of things on this program, but a variety of characters.
Not just one character.
Not just two.
An indeterminate amount of characters.
Yes.
A variety.
If you would like to participate in the program, we would love for you to call in. The number to call in is 301-314-6565.
You can talk to us about a whole variety of things.
Or you could just talk to us about a single thing. It's up to you.
Yep, the world is your uncle.
And this uncle that is the world is prepared to love you and squeeze you and hold you tight with the love of all the uncles in the world.
Because that's what uncles do.
So, We are trying to get to Washington, D.C. I wonder how close we are, Uncle B.
I don't know. Maybe we should go check in with Uncle Bungley, see what he says.
Why don't we do that? Uncle Bungley!
Hello, uncles. Ha! You have come to see where we are, I see.
Yes.
Well, as you can see from the view screen up here, we are getting very close to Washington, D.C. In fact, I would estimate that we will be there in 1 or 2 minutes.
Oh, wow. Are you sure we're not going to be there in a variety of minutes?
I do not know how that would be. I do not know how we could arrive at a place in several different times at once, unless, of course, there was some sort of temporal activity going on.
That sounds very sophisticated.
Yes, it is. It involves very high, powerful magic. But luckily, we are not doing that. We are simply using the simple magic of bus flight.
I see. And where do you think we'll land when we get to Washington, D.C.?
I do not know. Looking at my view screens, it also seems that there is some sort of crazy storm around Washington, D.C., like some sort of constant hurricane, perhaps like the red spot on Jupiter. It seems like it would be very dangerous to get too close, but I can certainly drop you out around the suburbs.
Well, I don't think people wanted to get too close to Washington, D.C. before the world ended either.
Was that some sort of political joke? Because I did not follow politics before the end of the world.
Yes, it was a sly political jab. We do a variety of those on this program, Uncle Bungley.
I have no point of reference for this, but I assume it was very clever.
Filibuster.
Ha! What a funny word.
Yeah, think about it. You have a friend named Buster, and you have a friend named Philip. They both decide to become conjoined twins. Filibuster.
Filibuster. I do like this word. I will use it in my future endeavors.
I do enjoy it as well, and I'm excited to see how you use it, Uncle Bungley.
We shall see. I cannot think of a reason right now, but I'm sure I will find one.
Well, if I may interject for a minute.
Oh, yes. Hello, intellectual British man.
Filibuster is one of my favorite words because it doth refer to the Parliament of the English legislature, starting in 1643 and then proceeding to 1644 when the Bluebell Accords were signed. After the Bluebell Accords were signed, there were heavy protests, especially on the Parliament floor. But one politician, he will go unnamed due to his vanity, he went on the floor and he said, "We must repeal the Bluebell Accords." And he began talking and talking and talking, all about the Bluebell Accords and why they should be repealed.
Intellectual British man, I do not follow any sort of American politics, and I was from America. I do not know why you think I would care about the history of British politics.
Well, because England was the center of the world before it ended.
That is not true. I have been to the center of the world. It is many miles below the surface, and it's very hot there.
And it's hot because the fish and chips are just off of the Barbie, correct?
No, it is hot because of all the lava, or the magma. I cannot remember which one is the one that is underground.
I don't think I've ever had that at a pub. What would you think about it?
Well, I would not recommend eating it, because I believe that if you were to eat it without any sort of magical safeguards, you would probably die.
Oh, wow. Probably die.
Probably die.
Wait, I have plenty to say about death, but let me just say this. I almost died after leaving a football match several years ago, perhaps 1837, and I was nearly trampled by some football hooligans, and I was so disturbed that I thought, I will never go to a football game again, talk about football, or play football. And of course I've just broken that accord, but so did the unnamed vain politician who repealed against the Bluebell Accord.
But, intellectual British man, if you let these hooligans just hold a spell over you for your entire life, you will never get anything done. You will never see football again, and football is a sport, and that is a great thing.
Well, I'm not denying that, Uncle Bungle, but I have decided to pursue more sophisticated matters, more sophisticated points of intellectual inquiry, such as the study of the history of the filibuster. They call that filibuster historiography.
But what if I told you that it would be possible for you to face these hooligans, and then you would be able to have more freedom in your life? You could still do your filibusterography or whatever you called it, but you would also be able to play football from time to time.
Do explain.
I have a magical spell that would be able to bring people back from history into this bus for a brief amount of time. The storm that we are near seems to be radiating some sort of magical energy, and it is increasing my powers. While we are getting close, I would be able to bring him to you so you could speak with him.
Well, that could potentially be helpful. I do think now that I have earned my degree from the University of Dinklebinge, I have more confidence.
It's true. I can tell that you are very confident, and I think a perfect way to use that confidence would be in confronting your old enemies.
Well, I could do that. I've been preparing a dissertation to present to the British Parliament once it becomes existent again, in order to reinstate the Bluebell Accords. But, I guess that can wait.
An uncle! Not uncle, British man. You're not an uncle, you're just a British man. I was going to say that we are going to hold the Uncles Convention at a football stadium, and if we're going to do that, you need to be able to be in the football stadium without recalling traumatic events and near-death experiences via hooligans.
That's right. We need all of our studio audience at peak condition so that they can help us run the convention.
Oh, I peeked a few minutes ago in his butthole. Sorry.
Kids, don't listen to him. He's inappropriate.
I think every day is a peak day.
Me too.
Oh, wow. The sun is not shining right now, but it will be soon, and that is why we will get the peak of the day very soon.
Happy Minnesotan man. Maybe once we get into D.C., we can use you to help brighten up the day.
Oh, I would love to help brighten up.
In the meantime, we need to help the intellectual British man.
Well, here is what I can tell you, my British friend. It's going to be a great day, regardless of if your team wins or loses. The hooligans will still be hooligans, and you must face them. You must be confident, and you must not let them trample you, because they tend to walk very fast after being very inebriated. So just think, great day, and you will be okay.
All right, intellectual British man, are you ready? Because my spell is prepared and I can cast it right now.
I do believe I'm ready. I'm revving up mentally and intellectually.
Great. These hooligans from the past, these douchebags that are an ass, I bring them to the bus so that they can make a fuss. All right, what's all this? What's going on then?
Excuse me.
Hello, where am I?
You are on a bus right now.
Oh, last I saw I was watching the football match.
That ended, precisely when the world ended, my
What
friend.
are you on about then? You're some sort of loony.
I'm not a loony, my friend. I'm an intellectual with a degree from the University of Dinklebinge.
Bloody hell, I remember you. You're that bloke that I trampled at the last march.
And I was very offended by
that's
your
right.
ability to trample me. I nearly died.
I remember you yelling something after us after we trampled you. Something about don't trample us. But we're hooligans. That's what we do. All we know is how to trample people and watch football matches.
Well, I would say if you conducted yourself in a more civil manner, then the football matches perhaps would be more accessible to a wider audience and more enjoyable for folk like me who do not necessarily enjoy the trampling and would prefer sustained intellectual inquiry.
But why would I be interested in catering to people who don't like football matches the way I like them? I want to enjoy a football match the way it's meant to, by being drunk and rowdy.
Well, I think what we're referring to right now is your ethos. You need to be making an appeal to the ethics of the order of civilized society. And if you're going to do that, you need to appeal to not just your hooligans, but also intellectuals, like I, perhaps.
But I don't care about intellectuals. I care about beer and fish and chips and God saving the Queen.
I do enjoy a good fish and a good chip. I would say I am an atheist, as many of my academic colleagues are. in talking about theology and the pursuit of a higher power, but I do believe that the Queen needs to be saved. Last I heard, she had, fallen into a ditch.
If you don't believe in a god, who will save the Queen?
Well, hopefully, the conjoined powers of the populace.
No. The populace is too busy getting drunk and watching football matches.
And there, my friend, lies the problem.
So what you're saying is that we should put aside the hobbies that we like to do, like getting drunk and watching football matches, so that we can save the Queen instead of God?
Well, I'd say if you find hobbies such as political activism...
You mean hobbies?
I'm sorry, I do not speak the Worcestershire dialect.
Whatever.
But if you're going to say that, how about pursuing intellectual inquiry as a hobby? Or how about I'm trying to think. What would be a good hobby that would allow the hooligans to be productive members of our civilized society?
Is there something productive that we could do while still being drunk and rowdy?
Well, you could.
Because I gotta say, the only hobbies that I like are ones in which I can be drunk and rowdy.
Well, I do believe if we're going to come up with, the new hobbies that these individuals can have, we're going to have to form a committee, because that's how all things get solved in Parliament. So would you like to be the head of that committee?
The head of the committee? That sounds like a dream come true back when I was a young lad back in Worcestershire. I always dreamed that I'd be the head of something, but I spent all my time getting drunk and being rowdy instead.
Well, see this as turning a new leaf.
Wow, I never thought I'd be able to change my life like this.
Well, here is the first...
calls for a pint.
All right, I was going to teach you the first lesson of being the head of a committee,
All right.
Well, let's have a pint first.
Yeah, hey, bartender, get me a pint.
Uncle Bungle, is that... Do you have any pints on this vehicle?
I believe I can use a spell that would call pints to us so that we can all enjoy a pint while learning. Beer from the sky, come into my eye so that I can see you and get drunk as a shrew. Shrews are known for getting very drunk. Oh, yeah, we all got points now. What kind of beer is this?
It looks like this is Is this a lager or is this an ale?
This is a magic ale. If you drink it, it will give you magical properties. That is all that my magic can ever summon, as you might have noticed by now.
Well, I will keep that in mind as I consume it. I guess let us raise our glass to productivity and your love of football.
What? We can't just raise a glass. We gotta sing a drinking song.
If you say so.
All right. Any sort of musical accompaniment anywhere? Maybe? No? All right. I'll sing it a cappella style then.
All right. That must be the way to do it. It's caveman tradition.
Yeah, all right. Everybody glasses up. Raise a glass to good old England. We like drinking lots of beer. Raise a glass to good old England. We're all happy when we're here. We drink and we drink and we watch football. We drink and we drink and we watch football. Raise a glass to good old England. England is the place for me. All right.
Wow, that was a very quaint drinking song.
Yeah, that's a classic back from Worcestershire where I'm from. Everybody knows it there.
That's absolutely fabulous, I would say. You do have the voice of an angel.
Thank you.
So the one lesson you need to know in order to lead this committee is how to filibuster.
Yeah, all right. What's that then?
Well, it started in about 1600, 1643, approximately. Don't quote me on that. I need to reconsult my reference book. But after the Bluebell Accords were signed...
Wait a minute. I thought the Bluebell Accords have been overturned since then.
They have, due to a filibuster.
Oh.
A politician who will go unnamed because of his vanity walked up to the stand of Parliament. He stood the floor, and he began to speak about the Bluebell Accords and why they should be repealed. That is all he talked about for several hours. And then the roof crashed in, and the UFOs began firing lasers at all of the members of Parliament.
That's right, I remember hearing about this in primary school.
They started running away, and soon only this unnamed politician was left in the Parliament Hall. So, after the filibuster ended, they took a vote on repealing the Bluebell Accords, and by a vote of 1-0, the Bluebell Accords were repealed.
Yeah, but while this was going on, it was saving the Queen.
Well, that was the intention metaphorically.
Oh, I see. And then all them UFOs, they just buggered off, did they?
They did. They went back to space, back to do whatever UFOs do. I don't quite know, but some of my colleagues at Dinkelbinge are studying this. There is a conference coming up in a couple of months about UFOs. Unfortunately, I cannot attend because of my contractual obligations with this studio audience, but it sounds endlessly fascinating. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, alright, I guess, if you had a couple drinks in you, maybe.
I would say, without drinking, it is quite the intellectual gold mine.
So, wait, what kind of lesson am I supposed to be learning from all this? That I should get not shot by UFOs?
Exactly.
Alright, that sounds pretty easy then. I've never been shot by a UFO in all my life.
And if you have to perform a filibuster, please do not make your filibuster about why the Bluebell Accords should be repealed, because that already occurred and they have already been repealed.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a huge waste of time if I were to do that.
And that is the purpose of a filibuster.
Alright, now I understand. Now I think I'm ready to lead a committee. Wait, what kind of committee am I leading anyway?
Well, you are going to round up all of the drunken hooligans who
What?
still remain in what is
What?
left of England.
Wait,
And
what do you mean, what's left in England? England was still fine back in 1870, where I'm from.
it's true. The world has ended since then.
What? By the UFOs?
We're not precisely sure. We're still studying that, though I would say there is an excellent conference in about 3 months entitled Why the World Ended. An exploration, symposium, and craft fair.
Alright, well, I can't say that this is not easy for me to take in. Can I be sent back to my time where the world hasn't ended?
If you say so, when you are ready, just give me a ring on my abacus, and we will communicate further and flesh out details for this conference. I'm especially interested in what will be served during lunch on the second day.
Alright, well, we can talk about all that. I guess I'll go and find some hooligans then.
All right, well, I wish you Godspeed. But, not a real God, because it is going to be the people who will save the Queen.
Yeah, whatever you say.
All right, well, toodle pip now.
Toodle pip.
So, intellectual British man, seems like you overcame your fear.
Well, not quite. I just appointed him to be the head of a committee. That is how you deal with people who you don't like. You appoint them to be heads of committees.
Oh, I see. And then they get distracted by what other meaningless task you give them, and then they can't bother you anymore.
Exactly. And that is why I hope to someday reinstate the Bluebell Accords.
Wow. What do the Bluebell Accords say, anyway?
Well, it is partially a mystery, but I only know every other word of the Bluebell Accords because that is part of the way that Parliament processes these legislations.
Seems like a really inefficient way to do things.
Well, I would say so myself, but who am I to question Parliament?
Fair enough.
And the only words of the Bluebell Accord that I know are, I tooted loudly.
I tooted loudly. I wonder what they could say in between.
Well, that is the mystery that us scholars have been
Can't
researching
even really think
for
of
several
any words
years.
that would fit between I and tooted logically.
I would say that there is another symposium about it, but there have been hundreds already. So many.
So many. Well, maybe one day we can figure out what the rest of those words are, but in the meantime, Uncle Bungley, are we getting close to D.C.?
Yes, it seems that we are almost approaching. We are at the edge of the storm here. I am afraid that if I get any closer, the bus will be torn apart.
Oh, wow! That's a big storm. Look at the eye of the storm.
That's right. The eye is right in the center, and it is massive, almost as massive as the rest of the storm.
It looks
not.
pretty red.
It sure is.
I wonder if it's been smoking.
Probably has. It seems like there's all sorts of steam coming off from the tops of it.
Why don't we ask it? Mr. Storm,
Hello.
have you been smoking?
Yeah, man, I sure have.
Well, preserve your lungs, at least for the sake of your nieces and nephews.
I don't have any nieces or nephews. I'm a storm.
Well, go right ahead then.
Okay. Oh, that's some strong stuff.
Well, that is what happens after the world ends. The atmosphere just gets crazy.
All right, uncles, I'm going to drop down to the surface so I can let you off on the outskirts of this storm.
Okay, Uncle Bungley.
You are going to have to make your way on foot. I am going to stay with the bus to make sure that it is not damaged.
All right, that sounds good. I think Uncle B and I can handle it. And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll find a football stadium for the Uncle's convention.
I think we'll manage. We're intrepid young uncles. We've done more dangerous things than this in the past.
It's very, very true. Once we were even in New York City during the Bagel Revolution.
Those were dangerous times.
They were very dangerous times. Ooh,
All right.
I feel the turbulence.
Hold on. We are going to go around the outskirts of the storm, but there are still wispy parts of the storm around. I'm going to try to navigate through, but it is going to be very dangerous. We are going down. We will hit the surface in 5, 4, 3. Hold on. 2, 1.
Happy English New Year.
We have now landed on the ground. We should be able to get out safely.
Oh, the door still works.
Yes.
Wow! You know what? That makes me think about the one studio audience member who all that time ago helped us open the door.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if he's still here.
I don't even know. There are a lot of curtains on this bus.
That's true. He could be behind any of them. Well, we don't have time to look for him. We got a football stadium to look for instead.
It's true. Washington, D.C. looks even more decrepit and disgusting and politically corrupt than it did before the world ended.
Sure does. I wonder how long this storm has been raging. It looks like a lot of the buildings have been destroyed or somehow turned to rubble or just damaged by the power of this storm.
Yeah, it is very strange. It's almost symbolic of what once was.
There's a lot that can be learned from this.
It's true.
I hope the football stadium is still together. We're going to need it to host this convention. We don't have a backup plan.
No, we don't. I mean, maybe there are football stadiums in other parts of the world, but how do we know that other parts of the world played football?
There's no way of knowing. I would guess that at least one other part of the world played football. Otherwise, it would just be the Washington football team playing against themselves.
Well, scrimmages can be very lively if you keep an open mind.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would want to do that every time.
I agree. I remember when we went to the Washington football game, and we were just young nephews back then. But it was mesmerizing. I don't know why we never went to another football game in any other place, or sought out any other football
I
teams.
don't know. I don't remember what team they played. If I remembered whether or not it was a scrimmage, it would solve this whole dilemma. But I can't remember.
I remember it being a good game, but I don't know if that was because it was against a good foe or because scrimmages can be fun if you keep an open mind.
I remember it being a good game because Uncle Porkbelly bought us hot dogs.
Oh,
I sure do love hot dogs.
me too. And
That's
he
part
let
of-
out that big burp.
Yeah. All the hot dogs I ate as a kid are probably part of the reason why I'm so fat.
I
well.
agree.
Well, I guess we better enter the city. You know what? We better get some rain gear out of the vault, though.
It's true.
It's gonna be pretty stormy in there. Let me see. Let me open her up. Let's see. Past all the potted plants. Past these ice sculptures. Oh, here they are. Underneath all the hats and on top of the shovels. Here you go. Here's a raincoat. Here's some boots. And even an umbrella.
Wow.
Sure is a good thing we keep the vault stocked with important items like this at all times. Remember, kids, if you're ever out in a storm, you better put your rain gear on or you could get damaged like these buildings are.
And also remember that football is often played rain or shine.
Yep.
And if there's more than one team, that could make for a sloppy, wet game.
If there's only one team, it can make for a sloppy, wet scrimmage.
If you keep an open mind, that is.
And it's always good to keep an open mind, boys and girls.
Whoa, that's a big building. Is that a football stadium?
I don't know. I don't really know what a football stadium looks like from the outside. I guess
Yeah.
we saw it once, but all I remember is shoveling my face with hot dogs.
And all I remember was initially being disappointed, but later deciding to keep an open mind and enjoying myself much more.
You learned an important lesson on that day. I wonder if that's what Uncle Porkbelly meant to do by bringing us to the football game. Or
It's
if
true.
he just wanted to show us a good time.
I don't know. I haven't eaten a hot dog since that game. Was that the lesson?
I don't know. I think I ate a hot dog pretty much every day since that game. I
Well,
wonder if that was the lesson.
we clearly had some mixed messages.
Yeah, we learned entirely different things from one set of stimuli. I wonder if there's a lesson to be learned in that.
Wow. So many lessons in so little time, and that building is huge.
Sure is. It's really wide, but also really tall.
And it looks like you can kind of see into it. Though I can't see into it. I'm not nearly tall enough.
Maybe if we climb on top of the tree, we'll be able to see better.
What did you say?
We're just gonna climb on top of you real quick. Don't worry.
Be careful, my branches are fragile.
Of course we'll be careful. The trees are for climbing. Up I go. Oh man, all my weight is really making your branches sag underneath my footstep.
I have crusty bark.
Uh-oh. Well,
Oh.
here I go. Up to the top. Uncle Chunky.
You really are fat.
You don't have to rub it in. Uncle Chunky, I can see inside.
What do you see, Uncle B?
I see a big field, but it looks like it's covered in nieces and nephews.
Oh, wow. Not grass?
Well, there might be grass under them, but I can't tell because they're covering literally every inch of the surface of the field, which is strange because I also see some like stadium bleachers around the outside, and none of them are there. They're only on the field.
That would be a lot of nieces and nephews and a strange positioning of bleachers.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's the stadium.
it must be. I can't think of any other building that would have a field with surrounded by bleachers. I guess it could be a different stadium.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to go investigate.
Yep, let me just climb down from this tree real quick. Oh! No!
Help! Help!
I snapped one of the branches and then
My
I
arm
fell.
has fallen and it can't get up because it is part of a tree.
Here, I got it for you.
Oh, wow! I didn't realize that there was natural adhesive.
Yeah.
That came together very easily,
It's really
and now
weird.
my distress is alleviated.
Wow, that was quite a tumble I took. I could have gotten seriously injured, but somehow I'm perfectly fine.
You do seem like a serious tumbler. I knew some serious tumblers back in my day.
Really?
Yes, they would roll, they would somersault, then they would fall pepper, and then they would tumble and keep tumbling and tumbling and tumbling. And
All of those do seem like things the tumblers would do.
yes, they do. They just tumble for hours and hours on end. And I'd initially thought that the Bluebell Accords outlawed that, but I was wrong, because the Bluebell Accords didn't do that, and I never lived in England.
Wait.
What am I talking about?
Do you know what the Bluebell Accords say? We're trying to figure out, but we only know the words "I tooted loudly."
Well, my memory is fading, but I remember the Bluebell Accords had something to do with, I think it was maritime law.
Maritime law?
It had to do with maritime law. It had to do with the boats and the ships. I remember when I served in the military, I had to be on international waters, and we had to recite the Bluebell Accords. I could
Do you
try to
remember the
remember.
words?
Let me think. I think I know. So it was I,
Yeah?
SS ship, tooted very loudly.
ISS ship tooted very loudly.
The name of our vehicle was the ISS ship. And when it was approaching shoreline, it had to toot its horn very loudly, or else the people would not know that it was there, and that was part of the Bluebell Accords.
Oh, so the Bluebell Accords are just some sort of warning system to make sure that ships don't run aground or run into people? Or that people don't
Exactly, just maritime law.
I can't imagine why anyone would want to overturn that.
Well, actually, I don't think the Bluebell Accords were like that. I think you are coming up with something else, even though it is a great idea for what the Bluebell Accords are about on a great day.
Happy Minnesotan man, do you know what the Bluebell Accords were about?
Well, in Minnesota, we had a special saying. We said, ha ha, Bluebell Accords.
Oh.
And Bluebell Accords was slang for great day, but it was also slang for something that was very crazy. Ha ha, great day.
Can you give me some sort of context in which you would use the phrase, haha, Bluebell Accords?
Well, let's say it is a very great day, and my friend, Jimbo is going to have a party.
Okay.
And Jimbo is going to have a party. He's going to invite 200 people, because in Minnesota, we are all friends with each other. It's a great day. And say
Okay.
Jimbo only orders 50 pizzas for 200 people. Then you would say Bluebell Accords.
Well, 50 pizzas for 200 people actually seems pretty reasonable for me.
Not in Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
We eat one pizza per person.
Oh,
One
wow.
personal pizza per person.
So you would need 200 pizzas for 200 people.
Exactly. On a great day, we would be able to supply that much pizza.
When you got all those types of pizza, did you get only one or two different toppings, or did you get a variety of toppings?
Oh, we got a variety of toppings, of course, because a great day involves variety. That is why I am on this program.
Wow. So wait, do you remember the words of the Bluebell Accords? If they're not ISS ship just tooted loudly, very loudly?
Well, I do think so. So I believe, from what I remember, the Bluebell Accord at least as it was passed down from my uncle, Uncle Great, and my other uncle, Uncle Day. Made a civil union before it was legal. Great day.
Spicy.
So I believe what they told me was, I might have tooted very loudly.
I might have tooted very loudly. I wonder why there would be a law that said that.
I don't know, but that's just what my uncles told me.
That one I can understand why someone would overturn. It's ambiguous and doesn't really mean anything in terms of law.
Well, for my version of the Bluebell Accords, it was very important for the ships to land appropriately at shore. Now that I'm a tree, I don't ride in ships, but somehow I've defied logic and been on a flying school bus for the past several weeks. Don't ask! Fuck off!
It's also very strange that you say that you can't move, yet you always seem to be right next to us.
Well, I'm a tree.
Yep, that explains that, man.
Yep.
Alright, well, we sure have learned a lot about the Bluebell Accords while standing outside of this stadium. I think we should probably go into the stadium now.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly.
Right.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Who's there?
Who are you?
I'm Nephew Doorman. They left me here to watch the door to make sure that nobody gets in. There are some bad people out in the city right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like the smutty politicians?
Well, no.
Oh, really? Like the corrupt politicians?
No, all the politicians are gone.
Oh, really? Like the disastrously good-looking politicians?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think there are any politicians.
Oh,
but
really? Like the
let me
disastrously
fucking finish.
good-looking chocolate park?
God damn, who the fuck are you? You come to our stadium and just talking about politicians all day?
I'm Uncle Chunky.
You're an uncle?
I am. I and my co-host Uncle B host the Uncle's Variety Hour program.
There's two uncles? Guys, there are uncles here. They're finally come. Have you come to save us?
We have come to see if this is a football stadium.
Oh, well, no, this is a baseball stadium.
Oh, well, why does it look like it could be a football stadium?
I don't know. I guess football could probably be played here. There was a football stadium, but it got destroyed. Here, come inside. We'll tell you what's been happening.
Okay, if you say so.
Let me open the doors real quick. Open the doors!
Wow.
Come inside.
The world may be in disarray, but your high-functioning electric-powered doors are certainly not in disarray.
That's right. Well, we have a whole society here. We've been living here ever since the world ended. All the nieces and nephews from basically the East Coast have gathered here.
Wow!
Come inside. Welcome to Stadium Nephew.
This is a really great stadium. I love what you did with the interior design.
That's right. We've been putting up barricades and all sorts of traps in case that anybody got in.
Who do you think would try to get in?
Well, when the world ended, for a while it was pretty calm, and there were all the nieces and nephews, and we were fine, and we sort of gathered for our own amusement, and so we could have a sense of family and community. But then it changed. Some spacemen came down in their suits, in their space suits, and they started cleaning up the streets. They wanted all the nieces and nephews off the streets, so we huddled in this stadium for protection, and we've been here for years ever since.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe that happened. What were these spacemen like?
Oh, I don't know. They had really big space suits on, but some of them were carrying microphones, and some of them were carrying video cameras. They looked like maybe they were trying to put together some sort of television program.
But wait, We have microphones, and we have video cameras, and we are trying to put together a television program.
You're not with them, are you?
I don't know. We host a program called Uncle's Variety Hour on the Space Channel.
Space Channel?
Come on and flannel.
Welcome to Space Channel. We've heard some of the spacemen say that.
Oh, really?
Oh, no. I better take you to our leader. I can't make any big decisions.
Okay. Well, take me to him then.
All right. He's up in the broadcaster's booth.
Oh. Leader?
Well, how you doing there?
Hi.
I'm John Madden.
John Madden?
That's right. What we got here is a stadium full of nieces and nephews. They've been running some really good plays for the past couple years. Who are you there?
What kind of plays? Would you say modernist, postmodernist, absurdist, musical theater?
Well, the kind of plays that you got here are the kind of plays that you get when you got a bunch of nieces and nephews in a stadium and they get out there and they just show some hustle.
I see. Well, John, I'm Uncle Chunky.
Wow, you sure look like someone who's chunky and an uncle.
Well, I appreciate you confirming my name corresponding to my physical appearance.
Well, I really hope that you're here to get out there and show some hustle, because we could use some help.
Well, what do you think that I can do?
Well, we need someone to look after all these nieces and nephews. I'm dying pretty soon. As you can see, I'm pretty old. I'm at the end of my life here.
Wow. Well, I think it's a big task to look over these nieces and nephews, but we are up to the task at Uncle's Variety Hour on one condition.
Yeah, what's that? You just name it.
Could we host the Uncle's Convention at this stadium?
Well, as you can see, this is a baseball stadium. It's not quite, it's not meant for conventions and the holding of conventions thereof, but, we could probably make it work. The actual football stadium has been, overrun by the spacemen, though.
Well, I honestly don't know if we'll be able to get to it then. We could try, but what if they don't want us to use the stadium? Or does it even exist anymore? Your nephew Doorman said that it had been destroyed.
Well, they've been rebuilding it into some sort of evil headquarters kind of deal. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but yeah, you could hold the convention here instead. This is a great place for all kinds of plays to be done.
It does seem like the acoustics are fantastic.
Yeah, here, look, I can turn on the microphone so you can make an announcement to all the nieces and nephews.
Nieces and nephews, my name is Uncle Chunky. My co-host, Uncle B, and I host a program called Uncle's Variety Hour. Your leader, John Madden, gave us permission to host our uncle's convention here, and we would love for you to participate. If you are interested in participating, stay right where you are and think of different things you would like to do at the convention. If you have any questions, we will be right here. Thank you for your time.
Well, there you go. Look at that. They're all cheering for you. They haven't seen an uncle in years.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I can go get Uncle B and we could start planning the convention then.
All right, I'm going to stay here and die.
Well, I was gonna say, as thanks for helping us out, John, maybe there's some way we could help you not die. In fact, the driver of our magic bus knows magic.
Magic, that could maybe save me. Magic seems like the kind of thing that if you put your heads together and really put some hustle into it, it could save a dying person.
Well, maybe if Uncle Bungly could help you, you could be okay.
All right. Well, I think I got a little bit more time. So if you could bring him here before I die, maybe that'll work.
Uncle Bungly, get over here!
Hello, I am speaking to you from a magical projection. I am not actually here, but I heard your call.
Uncle Bungly, our friend John Madden is dying, and he did us a huge favor by letting us host the convention here. Is there anything we could do? I know from watching the Magic Uncles that it is not so easy to bring a human being back to life, but maybe could you bring back John Madden as something else?
Well, as I said, there's some sort of magical storm energy coming from the magical storm, so perhaps my magic is stronger and I will be able to bring him to the bus. Once he's at the bus, I will be able to examine him and possibly help him.
Well, let's go back to the bus really quickly.
No, you
and
misunderstand.
examine him.
I can teleport him here with magic.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do that then.
John Madden, lying so sick. Come here and bring your dick. John Madden has now been transported to the bus. I will use my magic and do my best. I will report back to you once I have returned him to his better state, or any sort of state that I have turned him into with magic.
Oh, wow, look at this man! He's a cute man!
The studio audience seems very interested in him. I shall have to go so I can keep them away, or else his condition might get worse.
Okay. Well, best of luck, Uncle Bungly.
Thank you. Best of luck to you, uncles.
All right.
Well, we've got the stadium. We've got all the nieces and nephews here.
It's true. I guess the only thing we have to do next, well, in addition to planning an entire convention, is writing invitation letters, sending out invitation letters by some form of communicative transportation that doesn't exist with the end of the world, rounding up all of the uncles and nieces and nephews, and making sure we have a good meal prepared for the second day of the convention. I guess we should go check out that football stadium and see what the spacemen are up to.
This sure is a lot to do. I think the best way to handle all this is by getting some good rest beforehand, 'cause I could use a nap.
I would say so myself. And after that nap, we can get right down to business.
That's right. We can get all that stuff taken care of that we need to take care of.
And then, soon enough, we will have an uncle's convention.
It's almost happening, Uncle Chunky. I can't wait.
Neither can I.
Well, this bed that John Madden was lying on, sick, seems like a great place as any to take a nap. I think we can both squeeze onto it.
Oh, this is quite a mattress.
Sure
It
is.
is soft, plump, and very aromatic.
All right. Time to take that nap. Boys and girls, nieces and nephews, thanks for listening. We'll be back in a couple minutes on... I'm so tired of falling asleep. Back on Uncle's Variety Hour.
Oh, Doctor.
Clang!
I am very excited for our tour!
I am as well. That space ride out to the Space Channel station was quite long.
It was.
But looks like we are approaching and almost ready to dock their station.
I can't believe we won that
I
contest.
can't believe it either, Clang. I'm so proud of you.
Well, I did my best, and now we get to tour the Space Channel station.
Oh, boy. Oh, I have to say, this is very exciting. Oh, most of the time I'm not excited by things like this, but Space Channel, they have such great programming.
And I would say, if of anyone to win that contest, I think we are a perfect fit.
I'd say we are, Clang. I'd say that we'll both be educated and perhaps be able to give some of our own opinions to the station management. I have some great ideas for some stories that I would like to tell. Perhaps they'd give us a show.
Well, maybe that would be excellent. Clang and Dr. Dad.
Clang and Dr. Well, I must say I prefer Dr. Dad and Clang.
Oh, well, I do understand, Doctor, since I'm your trusty sidekick. Could we slightly abridge the title to be, Dr. Dad and Clang wearing perfectly fitted pants?
I'm not sure you understand how abridging works. That's longer than it was before.
Well, I think it's important that people know. Don't they have those shows, the police shows, where they abbreviate the titles? It could be called Clang, it could be called Dr. Dad and Clang. What did I say? Wearing appropriately fitting pants.
DDACWAFP.
AFP. HHH for him.
HHW. DDACWPFAP. Perfect.
Yes. We are going to be superstars, Dr.
Great
Dad.
title. Oh, here we go. It looks like we're about to dock. Welcome to Space Channel Station. Come on in flannel. Welcome to Space Channel.
Please remember to, I'm sorry for interrupting you,
That's
other
fine.
announcer.
Maybe we should record this again.
Let's try this again.
All right, I think it's this button to start over.
Okay.
Welcome to Space Channel Station. Come on in flannel.
Welcome to Space Channel.
Your
We
tours-
have it.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought I was.
I thought I was.
All right, well, that's fine. We can take as many takes as we want.
This is what happens when we don't write a script,
We don't need a
Charles.
script. We're not hacks, Persephone.
Well, Charles.
Persephone. Let's try one more time. Here,
All
Let
right.
me hit the button again. Welcome to Space Channel Station. Come on in flannel.
Welcome to Space Channel.
Oh, I thought you were going to go.
We're still rolling. This was our last take.
What? I thought we had as much space as we wanted.
But I thought 3 times was the charm. That's what they told us in employee training.
Oh, you're right. Look at the timer on the little thing is widening down. It's going to end in 3, 2, 1.
Please evacuate your seats and please welcome your friends to the Space Channel and the tour of the Space Channel, Space Tour, Channel Tour, Space.
Is that it?
I guess so. I don't do anything else.
I guess we'll follow these dashed lighted lines to wherever we're supposed to go.
I'm already impressed with how well rehearsed they were.
Yes, very professional stuff.
Yes. So, it looks like the will call booth is right here.
Do we have to pick up tickets for this?
Well, how would they know who we are?
Good point. All right, I'll go see if I can figure out what's going on. Hello, I am Dr. Dad.
Hello. Welcome to Space Channel.
Thank you. Me and my associate Clang won a guided tour of this station. We're here for that.
Could I get your last names, please?
Dad? Clang, do you have a last name?
It's I do not see any tickets under the name Hem.
Are they both under Dad?
Let me look. Dad, move! Why are you sitting on the tickets?
Sorry.
There they were. They were both under Dad.
Great. Please give them to me. They are mine.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting the Will Call booth
Great.
at the Space Channel
Wait,
headquarters.
where are we supposed to go now?
Well, straight ahead.
Oh, great. All right, come
There's
on.
a wall here.
Come along, Clang.
Well, walk straight ahead. You will walk through the wall
What?
and into the Space Channel headquarters.
All right, here, Clang, take your ticket.
Okay, I'll put them in my pants now that they're the appropriate length.
Great. Let's just walk straight into the wall. Oh my God, we've made it to the other side.
Good evening.
Hello? Who's there?
Welcome to this tour
Well, thank you.
of the Space Channel.
I'm Dr. Dad. This is Clang.
Clang.
I am your introductory tour guide, Space Dick.
Space Dick. Hello. It's very nice to meet you. I
It
have
is a
to say
pleasure.
I'm very excited for this tour. I've been a Space Channel fan all my life.
Well, in order for us to proceed, I want you both to fill out name tags. The way we do name tags here at the Space Channel is you write R for who you are, and then you write your name. So you see my name tag says R Space Dicks.
All right. Our Dr. Dad then.
And our Clang.
What a quaint system.
Well, we have been doing it this way for all 250 years the Space Channel has existed.
Wow, I didn't realize Space Channel was that old.
We are celebrating our 250th anniversary this year.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. It has been a long run, but I think, and I would say that many of my colleagues agree, that we have provided quality programming for viewers in space, on the Earth, and just about anywhere.
I would say so. I watched many of your programs as a child. I never watched Magical Uncles because those dunkles just made me so mad, but I watched many of your other programs, such as Meteor Adventures and Coloring Time.
Those were some of our most beloved.
I was once watching one of those programs, but my pants were uneven length and I tripped on my leg and then it was bad.
What a great story, Clang.
I agree. Well, if you both could step into this cart, we are going to wheel you around on our tour, and you will learn some of the history of the Space Channel.
Excellent. That's what we're here for.
Oh, I think we're getting going. It's bumpy.
The Space Channel began 250 years ago in space. It was at first a bumpy start. You could say there was turbulence getting Space Channel off the ground. But by its first year of inception, things were flying ultimately very smoothly. The first Space Channel program was, "Wow, we're in space? I'm very surprised. How am I still breathing?"
Look, Clang, there's a clip of it on the monitor.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's watch.
Wow, we're in space. How am I still breathing?
I don't even... Gotcha! I'm still alive,
I'm
still
very
breathing.
surprised.
That program was initially a big hit, but after the big twist was revealed, as you just saw in that clip, viewers started to look elsewhere and look to other channels for their entertainment. We also heard from surveys that the title was just a few words too long.
Uh-oh, Clang, we might have to revise our title.
Perhaps. We might have to trim it down so it's a good fit.
Appropriate length.
Well, Year 2 of the Space Channel was a milestone year. We had our second program. It was called Friends in Space with Pi.
This is a good clip. This is a good clip.
Ding 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 ding
Hey there,
ding
friend.
ding ding
What you
ding
got
ding
there?
ding Pi.
Whoa!
Ding 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 ding. And viewership started to rise.
I sure did love that program. I watched old episodes of it every day for a while.
I'm not sure if that was the one where I tripped on my pants or it was another one, but either way, I know that I had to go to my tailor shortly after.
So, the Space Channel continued to thrive in what we call its honeymoon phase. And
I get it.
it prospered. Viewership rose. The money was coming in very smoothly.
Ching, ching.
And all seemed to be well. Until some competition came from other networks that started popping up. As soon as Earth networks became more sophisticated and started to have more interesting and riveting programming, people started to watch those programs. And part of the problem on Earth is that they don't have the technology to watch 2 programs at once, like we do in space. So our Earth viewership sank.
Look, there's a clip of 2 programs on at the same time.
Oh, wow!
Hey, friend, I'm up in space.
Pie!
Hey.
Ding, ding, ding,
Oh,
ding,
oh,
ding,
hey, I'm
ding,
going
ding,
to
ding,
space.
ding, 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 ding.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
But then the Space Channel experienced a resurgence. The heads of the Space Channel decided that their programming could be even more interesting and even more riveting. They ordered a host of new programs, and those programs transformed the Space Channel into a network that was struggling to a network that was high-flying. Nothing was going to bring the Space Channel down. We're in space, after all. And we've been floating comfortably ever since. Are there any questions?
I have a question. When did the motto, the phrase, the saying, when did that come about?
Well, that came about from one of the founders of the Space Channel, Mr. P. Space, also known as Personal Space. He was one day wearing no shirt at all because it got awfully cold in space and he loved the chill on his pits. He had a friend. Let's call his friend Mookie. Mookie was wearing a flannel shirt, and P. Space said to Mookie, "Hey, that's some really nice flannel." And Mookie said to P, "Hey, you've got a really great channel." And so the motto was coined, "Come on, and flannel." Welcome to Space Channel.
Wow.
That's what Mookie said, welcoming. Not Mookie, that's what P said, welcoming Mookie to the Space Channel headquarters.
And that's why we were said that to us too. I understand now.
Yes, you may not be wearing flannel now, but every Space Channel viewer is metaphorically wearing flannel, the warm, sturdy, superior flannel.
Interesting. So, what happened to all the other Earth networks? Why is Space Channel the only network left now?
Well, the Earth underwent some changes after the world ended tragically. Due to this, all of the Earth networks disappeared, and only space networks survived. So, as the heads and the brains and heart of the Space Channel, it is our duty to provide quality programming to the people of Earth, even though they no longer have networks.
So even though you're a space channel, you still have Earth channels of a sort.
Well, we broadcast from space, but some people who still have antennas, telescopes, and crockers are able to catch our broadcast either visually or by audio, as is the case with crockers.
Crockers, what an excellent program!
It is quite an excellent program.
Now, Space Stick, once the tour is finished, do you think there's any chance that we'd be able to speak with maybe some of the executives of Space Channel? Clang and I have an idea for a show that will rock your socks off.
Well, you will have to go back to the will call desk in order to schedule an appointment. But if P-Space and his partner are free, then perhaps you could schedule a meeting.
Who is P-Space's partner?
Well, we don't like to name him because he is very vain. But if you ask him, maybe he will give you his name.
All right. Very well then. We will make an appointment.
Well, why don't you go do that? The car will drop you off right at the start, and you will get a message from the voices who welcomed you to the Space Channel headquarters, reminding you to enjoy your stay.
All right, great. We are ready.
Oh, it looks like we're stopping.
We've been dropped.
Thank you for visiting the Space Channel on one of our award-winning guided tours. It is a really great tour. We appreciate your patronage.
Please come back and visit the Space Channel station another
Come
time.
on and flannel.
No, we're not doing it
Welcome-
yet.
Oh.
I still had another. I forgot what my line was.
Oh, well, should we try again?
No, let's just power through it.
Charles,
The Space Channel is.
thank you for
thank you for-
coming to
No,
the Space Channel.
Persephone. This
Charles.
always happens. You're so unprofessional.
Well, you know me. They say that women in the workplace aren't necessarily the most professional, but I think that's just sexist.
Who says that? That's such just pointless sexism.
I agree. I think as a woman in the workplace, I'm just as competent as you, and you are screwing up your monologue equally to me.
It's not really a monologue. We're both talking. It's a dialogue, I guess.
A dialogue. Yes. Perhaps. Charles.
Persephone.
Thank you for visiting the Space Channel.
Come on in flannel.
Welcome to Space Dick.
No, channel.
S-
You know, even saying that after they've come doesn't really make sense because we've already welcomed them and they've been here. Why would we welcome them again?
Charles,
Persephone.
why don't we craft an entirely new goodbye phrase?
You're right.
Thank you for visiting the Space Channel and participating in our award-winning guided tour.
Come on in flannel.
Bye
Goodbye
from Space Channel.
Yeah, that was good. Really catchy.
Charles,
Persephone.
the way we just collaborated.
Ooh, I sure like building something together with you.
Oh, I agree. That was awfully steamy.
Let me just turn the recording button off. Let me just hit it.
My spacesuit is steaming up
Oh,
right now.
Wait, maybe I hit the wrong button.
Charles,
but I'm too steamy to care either.
Charles.
Just rip these spacesuits off.
Oh, Charles.
Oh, Persephone.
I'm glad we can still breathe, as noted on the famous first Space Channel program about breathing in
Me
space.
too. I'm pretty surprised right now.
Wow. Make love to me, Charles.
Make love to me while eating this pie, Persephone.
We made great love.
We sure did. Oh shit, it's been recording this whole time.
This is disgusting. This, whatever this announcement is, needs to be cleaned up and trimmed significantly.
I'm surprised how completely unprofessional these announcements have been.
I agree. Initially, I thought that they were very professional, but now I think they are not even as professional as my tailor.
I thought you were your own tailor, Clang.
Well, sometimes I'm not the most professional.
That's true.
I
often
was,
thought that about you.
I was associated with an evil dad for the longest time, you
Hey,
know.
now, we all have phases we go through. I'd think that I've stopped. Perhaps my days of evil are over by now. You know, I've reconciled with the Dumkles. Mrs. Mom is long dead, and I haven't seen her in a vision anytime recently, so perhaps my evil-doing days are over. Perhaps I can do good instead, and the best way to do good, I would think, is by having a television program on the Space Channel.
Well, let's get out of this cart, and let's go to the real call desk, and let's see if we can arrange a meeting with P space
Mysterious
and his
partner.
partner.
All right. Well, how do we get back to the will call? Do we have to go through the wall again?
I believe so.
All right. Which wall was it?
Not that one.
Craig, you dummy.
Sorry. I thought it was this one. See, it's all gooey.
Oh, yeah. Give it a try. Clang, what do you see?
I see the real call
Oh,
desk.
great. I'll go through as well.
Welcome back to Will Call.
Hello. We've returned from our tour.
Well, how did you enjoy your
It
tour?
was very informative, actually, and the space stick was very kind and helpful and informative.
I do enjoy the name tag
I
situation.
do as well. What an interesting system.
So what can I do you for?
We were given the impression that we could schedule an appointment to meet with P Space and his partner to pitch them a show.
You can do that. They have an approximate several minutes opening
Really?
coming up in just a couple of
That's
minutes.
surprisingly convenient.
Would you like me to pencil you in?
Please, yes.
Would you like me to what should I put your name under?
But put my name under Dad.
Okay. Dad, you're gonna have to move again.
Oh, whatever you say, son. I'm so proud of you. All right, can I sit back down now?
No, I'm still writing.
Oh, okay.
I'm still penciling.
Your old man's just trying to watch the game.
You never thought I could be a successful will call man,
Hey, that's
but
not
look
true.
at me now and
not
look at
true.
you.
I always thought you could do it.
You are riding my coattails, Dad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get off of them.
Thank you. You're very heavy.
I know.
Well, it looks like we have you all penciled in under Dad.
Great.
Oh, this is very exciting. Dr. Dad, this is your big chance.
Oh, I
Your
can't
one
wait.
opportunity to capture everything you ever wanted. Will you go for it?
Oh, I'm worried I'll let it slip.
Well, I think we are ready.
Oh, my palms are sweaty. My knees are weak. My arms are heavy.
I don't think you have the cleanest sweater on.
Oh, there's vomit on it. It's no problem.
Well,
Just clean that right off. We'll call, man. Is there somewhere we can wait before our meeting?
Well, you need to go through the other wall.
Oh, all right.
That makes sense. There are several walls in a room. If not, it would be very strange and somewhat interdimensional.
Well, it's already somewhat interdimensional, but all right, let's head on through. All right, here we are, waiting room.
Hello. I am your receptionist.
Oh, hello. We're here to see P-Space in a few minutes.
Well, P-Space will be available in approximately 30 seconds.
All right.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to music from the 1980s?
Maybe a little bit.
Have you ever listened to music from the 1980s that featured a robot voice?
I can't really think of any specific instances of that, but I'm sure I have.
Would you say you enjoyed that music?
Probably. I mean, probably not all of it, but some of it.
Do you think a robot has an opportunity to be a global superstar despite its limitations and inability to feel?
I would imagine that anyone could find, their spot in the world. They could make their self into something if they really tried and applied themselves.
Do you think I will ever find true love?
Oh, I do not have any sort of point of reference to be able to give you an answer for that.
Is my shirt clean?
Yeah.
Trick question. I'm a robot.
Oh. I just really said that so you would feel better.
That was very nice of you.
Thanks.
Of course. It is time for your meeting.
Great.
I want to be loved someday.
Maybe you can.
Well, it looks like it's time.
Oh, this is so wait, we didn't settle on a new name for our show.
What should we call it?
Dad. I can't think of anything but the word dad.
How about Dad,
I can't think of anything but those two words now.
How about we call it, Dumpkle's Proprietary Shower?
That seems derivative of something.
I don't think so. I think it's completely original. And
Right.
think about this, Dr. Dodd. This is very quick, very on a whim. Clang make whim. It could be about Dumpkles. We like uncles now, but the people love shows about villains. They love to see a darker character. And we know all about Dumpkles, even though we don't think they're Dumpkles. But the people who are watching, they don't know. They might think that we really hate Dumpkles. But no, we like Dumpkles now. But that's the joke.
Our show would be some sort of spin-off show of us being the adversaries of the Dumpkles. Who would want to listen to us when they could listen to the uncles?
Well, I think there are some people who might not necessarily like the uncles, or, Dr. Dad, they want to know more about the villains.
What about Dumpkle Proprietary Power instead of shower? Seems like it makes a little more sense.
Well, I was thinking that they owned a shower.
Oh, maybe.
But I like power.
Dumpkle's Trinary Power.
Dumpkle's sobriety shower. Oh, it's like they drank too much and they think that taking a shower would make them sober up.
Right, well, we could tell them it's a placeholder name, but I suppose we shouldn't keep him waiting.
All right. Looks like the doors are opening.
Whoa, excuse me. P-Space, I'm Dr. Dad.
Good.
I've come to pitch a show for you.
Good.
So you might recognize me from having been on Uncle's Variety Hour. I am sort of their nemesis.
Good.
And we'd like, so we have sort of a working title, it's Uncle's Sobriety Shower is sort of what we landed on, but it's not final, but basically it's a spin-off show, and it would be my doings and my goings-ons, while I'm trying to fight the Dumpkles.
Good.
Is it good? You like it?
Good.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad.
Good.
What is there?
Good.
Oh my. Oh, he's leaking pus. Is it good?
Sorry,
Oh.
I had a little hairball in my throat,
Oh, that was.
and that was my gurgling noise.
I understand. Now.
I go good.
It's a very strange noise to make by a hairball.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You
Me?
are your Dr. Dad.
That's right.
I am P Space
Hello. Yes.
of the Space Channel,
That's right. We've established that.
and you are trying to pitch a show to this old cowgirl.
Yes.
You are trying to get your hands on my Wild West territory of a television network.
Well, I feel like it's a other side of the story. You know, everybody loves Uncle's Variety Hour. This shows the other side. It gives them another viewpoint. I think it's an important story and it needs to be told.
Well, why do you think people would want to see villains? Think about it. Is it okay if I call you Doc?
That's
Think
fine.
about it, Doc. The world has ended. The people are confused. They don't know what to do. So, they don't want villains. They want hope.
But I like to think that my story is a hopeful one. I was a villain.
Well,
once.
tell me, cowboy, what is it hopeful of? Hopeful of destruction, hopeful of despair, hopeful of pure evil. Those aren't things we're about at the Space Channel.
Well, no, that's not the entirety of it. I was a villain. I have such a sad and tragic backstory, but I've made more of myself since then. I think someone could really learn a lot from that. You know, in these dark times, surely other people have had other tragic things happen to them, whether before the world ended, or when the world ended, or after the world ended. And I think my story can give some hope that even after these horrible things, you can really make something of yourself. Even if it's as a villain, or if it's as a poet, or as a network, a show executive producer now. Potentially.
I don't know, Dr. Dad. I'm very skeptical about this idea. The Space Channel has a 250-year history of high-end programming. We have explored everything from the pursuits of those uncle characters to the question of, can you breathe in space?
And now, thanks to you, we all know that we can breathe in space.
But with the Space Channel celebrating a monumental anniversary of 250 years in existence, is that the kind of thing that we want to be telling our viewers? That, oh, happy 250th anniversary, here's some evil for you. I don't think we want to do that. We are the Space Channel. We're not the evil network. That was an Earth network.
Well, all right. If you've made up your mind, then I suppose we'll just go.
Well, let me give you this. At the very least, I would like to consult with my partner.
Very well.
And maybe we'll see what he says. I don't think I'm convinced at the moment, Doc. I like you. I like you a lot, but I don't think I'm convinced. But let me consult with my partner, and then maybe we'll see where things go from there.
All right.
But until then, I hope that everything's good with you, cowboy. I appreciate you taking the time to come out. I heard you did a tour. You did a tour of the studio?
Oh, yes, I went through the tour. I went with Space Stick. He showed me around, and I have to say I've always been a fan. I'm very impressed by the facility. Well, that's not true. I actually have a...
Well, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Everyone who goes on our tour gets a cookie.
Have you listened to
Would
the
you like a
announcements
cookie?
Sure, I'll take a cookie.
Let me give you a cookie.
just that they're very
Who wants a
unprofessional.
cookie? Who wants it? Anybody want a cookie?
Yeah, me.
Cookie. Who wants a cookie?
Me.
Oh,
Right
is somebody
here.
here who wants a
I'll
cookie?
take a
Can I get a
cookie.
little Big Bubby? Big Bubby want a cookie?
Sure.
Oh, is there someone here? I got an auction. I got a fresh cookie up for Big Bubby.
thought you-
Oh, going once, going twice, quick, Big Bubby, put a bid in. Come on, Big Bubby.
$1.
$2 for cookie.
What, Clang?
I want the cookie.
$5.
Oh, well, Big Bubby says $5, but Little Bubby says $6. Or $7. $7 for
I don't
Little
want the
Bubby.
cookie that bad.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
well.
honest. I was gonna take it when it was
Going
free.
once, going twice, and sold the Little Bubby for $7. Actually, I'm just joking you. It was absolutely free. Thanks, good cookie.
Strange joke. Do I not get one now?
Well, you should have bid higher. Hey, gotcha, cowboy.
Oh, all right. I guess I'll leave without a show or a cookie then. Oh, wait, you're gonna talk. That's right.
Well, let me talk to my partner, and we'll see what he says. And maybe if things turn out for the better, I got another cookie for Big Bubby.
All right.
That sound good?
That sounds great.
All right. Well, why don't you just wait in that waiting area? Actually, no. Why don't you go back to what you were doing? Go back, do your thing. Go back to your territory and go hunt down some cows. Go troll the Old West for some shooters. Why don't you go to a saloon, play a little billiards?
Will you let us know once you've
I
reached a
will
decision?
let you know. I don't want to take too much of your time up because we might be deliberating for quite a bit. But we will let you know as soon as we find out. And in terms of a deadline, let's say, how about 2 weeks? If you don't hear back from us in 2 weeks, well, then you haven't heard back from us, and probably something bad has happened to the Space Channel.
Oh, no.
But you will hear back from us in 2 weeks.
Do you expect something bad to happen to Space Channel?
Oh, I was just saying that.
Okay.
I was just floating hypotheticals
Sure.
across Big Bub.
Oh, thanks, biggest bub.
Oh, you know it, Big Bub. So here, let's just leave it at that. Let me give you a good shake.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Bub, you are quite the shaker. I should call you Salty, because you're quite the shaker.
Okay.
How about Pep? How about Pep?
I thought you were gonna
How
be-
about Cumin? Oh,
I thought you were
Cumin,
gonna
I
be
like it.
Doc.
Are we Cumin or are we Dancer? Oh, Big Bub. All right. Well, it was good to see you, and in 2 weeks, we will let you know what is going on with your show.
All
But
right.
for now, it's deliberating time with my
Do I not
cowpoke.
get a cookie?
If you get the show,
You'll give me a cookie. All
I'll
right.
give you a cookie. I will auction off another cookie for Big
Great.
Bubba.
Thanks. so
All right,
much.
Big Bubby.
All right. Bye.
All right, goodbye. Thank you for the cookies. Sure thing, little critter. Yeah. All right. So what'd you think?
They are not what we're looking for.
Well, I do agree. I think they're not quite the image that we want.
We cannot present ourselves as evil, or people might catch on to the fact that we are.
I totally agree. I think a cowboy never reveals his gun until the last minute, until it's truly necessary and the saloon is just packed and chaos is about to break out with a bar fight. That metaphor makes sense to you?
Not really.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, Big Bubba.
Yes, I know.
So what do you think we should do?
We should not give him the show, but maybe we can make use of him in another way.
What you thinking, cowpoke?
He is a self-proclaimed villain. Those who watch the Uncle's Variety Hour know him as villain. Perhaps we can pin some of our doings onto him.
That does sound like quite the Mexican standoff. And let me tell you, when I was hunting the frontiers in Mexico, Space Mexico, that is, I really enjoyed What were you saying?
Oh, I was yawning.
Oh, I really enjoyed blaming things on other people. I think that is one of a cowboy's most important things.
An important trait for a cowboy, I suppose.
I would say so. So, what do you think we should do to blame on that the big bubby over there?
We will need some time to plan.
I would say so. I mean, you know, the world has ended. What do we need to do next?
Well, obviously, the uncles are having their convention soon.
Well, yes, according to that program, I don't pay too much attention to it, but I figure you do. I figure you know what's going on with those the Uncle Bubbas.
Their convention will be happening shortly. It seems like the perfect time to strike. It will raise the ratings for their program, which is, of course, our ratings. We can get rid of Dr. Dad.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Why are we striking when we are the co-CEOs of the Space Channel? It's our company. It's our intellectual property. Why are we protesting against ourselves?
We're not well...
You said we're striking.
We're going to strike by making it look as though Dr. Dad is striking. Conflict like this is what the people want to see. They don't want to see the nieces and nephews saved, because if all the nieces and nephews are saved, the show will end. There will be no more variety for their hour. There will be no more uncles down on Earth. There will be no more nieces and nephews, and the show will end. And that means an end to our profits.
Well, I guess that's true. So you're saying we don't want to have the uncles and nieces and nephews be destroyed?
Not destroyed, just delayed or prevented. We want the uncles, but to the nieces and nephews, they're acceptable casualties.
Oh, I see. I see what you're talking about. So the uncles, if we're talking cattle, the uncles are the big bubbas.
The biggest bubbas.
The nieces and nephews they're little bubbas. Little bubbies. And they could be veal, but veal takes a long time to ripen, soften, and tenderize, and we do not have that time if we are going to successfully celebrate our 250th anniversary of the Space Channel.
We don't need to worry about veal when we've got a nice, juicy uncle steak.
I would agree. It's some big bubbas.
Big bubbas.
From what I've seen of the program, they're both pretty fat. They're both pretty fucking fat. So my good one, my good pal, we plan for this uncle's convention. We plan for a Dr. Dad strike. That's what you're saying?
Yes. You're understanding now.
And when the Dr. Dad strike, what do we do from there? We eliminate the nieces and nephews. We blame it on Dr. Dad, and we operate everything out of the football stadium.
More or less, P-Space.
I'm glad I summarized that pretty appropriately.
Well done.
So, let's say, when the Uncle's Convention starts, we're going to be camped out in the football stadium, just down Chippledy Lane, and that's what's separating the baseball stadium where their convention-y thing is going to be held.
Chippledy Lane.
We'll be in the football stadium, so when the time comes, we will come down Chippledy Lane, and maybe we tell Dr. Dad that his program is on the air.
Yes.
And we say that the first episode's got to have as much destruction as possible.
As much violence as possible.
And maybe we tell him that it's not real, but it's absolutely real.
Yes, that fool will play right into our hands.
And that big Bubba, he's gonna be our biggest Bubba.
And Uncle's Variety Hour will stay on the air for years to come.
Still in search of nieces and nephews, forever.
Yes. Speaking of Uncle's Variety Hour, it looks like that program is about to end. Shall we tune in and catch the end of it?
Well, I guess we should do that. I mean, if we're planning on, staging this massive operation, we should know what they're up to as we get to the final stages.
Yes.
Meh. Mo. Mo.
Television, turn on Uncle's Variety Hour.
Television turning on Uncle Variety Hour.
Well, Uncle B, Uncle B, I sure did a good job. Uncle Chunky, you sure did a good job, too.
Uncle Chunky, you're the best.
You're the best, Uncle Chunky.
And you're the best too, Uncle B.
I'm the best, Uncle B.
So I think we're all ready for the Uncle's Convention.
Yep, we got a great plan lined out. We got all the invitations set out.
We did.
We've got a caterer on the way.
And the second day is going to be particularly delicious.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy, I can't wait. All these nieces and nephews are going to have a new home.
And all of the uncles are going to come and swoop them up in their big, loving uncle arms.
Just like Uncle Porkbelly did for us once.
They're going to let out the biggest belches of love. And they're just going to breathe in that sweet air of love and victory.
Maybe one day, thanks to all the help we've shown them, they'll become uncles of their own one day.
That's all we could ask for.
That's right, a new generation of uncles being propagated down through the ages.
I mean, Uncle B, I honestly don't know how long this program of ours will continue, but I think as long as it does, I want to make it our mission to find all the nieces and nephews in the world and give them the love and guidance that they need in order to someday become aunts and uncles themselves.
That's right. We're certainly helping a lot of nieces and nephews here today, but there are probably more nieces and nephews out there in the world to still help.
It's very true. And we will find them all before we're done. But first, we will have this Uncle's Convention. It'll be amazing.
It sure will. Well, all this work has gotten me ready for another nap, Uncle Chunky.
Me too. Want to do some plugs real quick before we get back to sleep?
I'd like to give my plug out to John Madden. He's been helping out all these nieces and nephews since the world ended. And now he's, getting ready to die unless Uncle Bungley can help him. But he's done a really good thing. He's not even an uncle himself, but he's still shown all the love and guidance and love that nieces and nephews need to get through these trying times. Thanks, John Madden.
And I'd like to give my plug, in addition to my obligatory plug to all of the nieces and nephews, I would like to give my plug to the vain politician who had a filibuster that repealed the Bluebell Accords.
Oh, yeah. We never did find out for sure what the Bluebell Accords actually say.
I think just the conflicting definitions are part of what made the Bluebell Accords so divisive.
Yeah, I think there's really a lesson that we could learn from that.
I would say so. The Bluebell Accords have a variety of meanings. If they had just one, it would be no fun.
That's right. And I bet when that politician in England was filibustering, he filibustered for at least an hour.
I would say so. Not just a minute.
Nope.
Or a fortnight.
Nope.
Or 2 minutes.
Nope.
or 2 1/4,
Nope.
or 2 1 fish,
Nope. Or
2 1 hopscotch potato. Wow, bow, wow.
Or
Squared. Or 3.
Or 3.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there might be some sort of ongoing bit that could be taken out of that.
I would say so. But for the time being, it's that important lesson. Variety is important.
Hours are important. And of course, uncles are important.
And I think that's where we can wrap things up, viewers and listeners of the Space Channel. But thank you again for your devoted viewership.
Thank you so much. We're doing this for the nieces and nephews, but we're also doing it for you. We want to provide quality entertainment to all you listeners out there while still trying to help people.
We couldn't do this without the nieces and nephews, but if there were no viewers, why would we have a program?
That's a great point. We'd probably get canceled if we had no viewers.
Yeah, and we would just be doing this on our own, without cameras and without a studio audience.
Yeah, we wouldn't be Uncle's Variety Hour. We would just be uncles.
Doing a variety of things in an hour.
That's right. That doesn't have nearly the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't.
So thank you, listeners. Thank
And
you.
we will see you when the Uncles Convention begins in 2 weeks.
That's right. Tune in to catch it, because it's going to be a big one.
It will. We're going to have behind-the-scenes coverage.
Yep.
We're going to have in-front-of-the-scenes coverage.
We're going to have catering.
We're going to have food provided by the caterers.
We're going to have nieces, nephews, and uncles.
And everything in between.
That's right. Well, I think it's about time to wrap things up then. Time to sign off, Uncle Chunky.
It is nap time, and when we wake up, we're going to be all replenished and
That's
ready
right.
for an amazing Uncles Convention.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Neither can I.
But we're going to have to wait because it's not going to happen until next time on
Uncle's Variety Hour.